Hi there, it's Kevin from Cadence Video Academy. So this month we've been looking at frequently asked question videos, and Hannah Davies from Nimble eLearning has been creating some frequently asked question videos, and she's been using a really cool tool called Lumen5, and she's very kindly offered to give us a little bit of a kind of a test drive, a demo, and show us how it works. So Hannah, welcome.
Thank you. Thanks very much for having me. Yeah, so I'm just going to show you what I've been doing basically with Lumen5. I'll share my screen in a second and hopefully it will all work smoothly. So let's have a try.
Yeah, well, it's always tricky with these live things, isn't it? It's always when you do a demo, it's almost like law of thermodynamics. It doesn't work. So if it doesn't, we'll have another go. But oh no, it's working fine for me. That's great.
Well,
okay.
Hopefully you can see that. Fantastic. Yeah. So this is what the Lumen5 dashboard looks like. It's just an online service that you log into. Here at Nimble eLearning, we've been using Lumen5 for a while actually to create sort of really quick, easy brand videos with some of our content. So we have been using it just to create more like graphic videos with text and stock imagery and videos. So we've been using it like that for some time, but when we had the sort of frequently asked questions challenge come up, I thought, I'd like to try out the new feature they've got, which is called talking head videos. So if it's okay with you, I'll just go ahead and click through into who I've created. Here's one I made earlier. Look, a little example.
Yeah, go for it.
So I'll just click through and show you how this appears when you're editing it. So when you're in Lumen5 in the kind of edit suite, so to speak, you've got all of your controls over here on the left. You can tweak pretty much everything. And I'd encourage everyone to, if they've got the time, sign up for a free account and have a play, because there's a lot you can do for free, actually, which is really nice. But for the frequently asked question video, I've kept it really simple. I've added an introductory slide which has the title of basically the question on it, and you can swap the design or change the colours and really easily adjust how that appears. Like for example, if I click through to swap scene design, this is picking designs from a template so that it will give your video a cohesive
and those are built in, are they, Hannah? You can select from different templates.
Those are completely built in.
Right.
Yeah, so this is just one of the templates that's built in, but what it's done is pulled through our brand colours.
Right,
so
okay.
I can very easily change the brand colours and then it will adjust. You still get all the same animations, all the same shapes and options, but just with your own brand colours. So it's a nice way to make a professional looking sort of title card or even a whole video without really knowing what you're doing. So that's why I like it. And over here on the left, I can easily...
So if you're making a lot of videos, so we're like asking frequent asked question videos, you could have like 20 of those. You can have them kind of all look the same but different with the click of one button, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, so if I click shuffle colours, you see it's just picking from my brand colours and just mixing them up basically, and I can change the brand colours over here in style and just basically choose 4 colours that what I've done is, because I'm a bit fancy, we've got a brand kit so that picks from our official brand colours. But if you know the hex codes for your colours that you have for your brand, then you can just put those in there and it generates it. So that's like the title slide. Really straightforward. Okay. And if I just show you the preview.
Who is Nimble useful for?
There you go. Look, there's my voiceover on it as well, which I hope you picked up. But you've just got that preview then of how it's going to appear. And the animation is automatic. Sometimes it frustrates my graphic designer because I can't edit the shapes or the sizes of these. But that's what's good about it. You don't have to be a graphic designer. It just does it for you.
Exactly. It's kind of best choice. Best choice is no choice sometimes, right? Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah. Or just it really gives you that limited option, but it always looks nice. So, provided you don't choose horrendous colours, of course. Then I can add, so I'm just going to add a scene here using this plus, and this is where you've got this talking head scene option. So in the past, we just had these types of scenes to choose from, but the talking head scene basically is designed, the whole interface is designed for you to upload a video of yourself talking, as we have done in the frequently asked questions videos. As you can see, this fella is not me, so I will go over into media, and I can choose from libraries, but obviously in this case I want ones that I've uploaded, and I've got a folder here of video uploads, just of my videos of me talking to camera, answering those questions using my phone that I just uploaded directly into the library here. So I can just pick one of those, like for example this one, and drag it across.
Oh wow, just drag and drop. Nice.
Yep, just drag and drop, and then I don't know if you saw there, but it said generating captions. So it automatically creates a transcript and generates the captions at the bottom of the video for you, which is fantastic. Obviously, as with any auto-generated captions, there are some things it's not very good at, but you can go in there, and the transcript's
so I had
on
a
the
little
left.
play with this myself, and what shocked me was like how fast. It's like instant, and I'm like, whoa, that is very, very fast.
Yeah, it's really quick. Yeah, I mean, this tool I think it's kind of slightly still in the sort of advanced beta phase, so there are a few bugs that they've been fixing on the fly, but to be fair to them, they've been really quick at fixing things and have very responsive customer support. So, the tool actually has been really helpful for us. And as you can see there, the transcript's on the left, and I can just click in. If I want to, I can correct that. So obviously that isn't a word, so I'll just change it slightly, and then it reflects in the caption. I can also change the size of the caption text, the font that the captions are in, and the colour of the captions as well. So a few options, but only basic options, just to keep it as simple as possible.
Yeah.
So now, if I wanted to, I could leave it at that, and I've just then got the captions. But I can also go a bit fancy and add some call outs on the screen, or a lower third, which is where I bring my name out so people can see who I am and my job. So to do that, I can just click and drag on the part of the transcript I want to add it to, and then I've got this add option here. If I just click on that, it will then generate some scenes for me to choose from that will so it will basically overlay just during that part of the video when I'm saying that sentence. So here, for example, right at the beginning like that, I'd probably choose a lower third, okay? And then I'm not Pablo Diego Jose de Paula, so I can just click in here to edit, just type in my name. And again, all of this just really easily editable. My job title. I can change sizes. I can change colours. I can make this bigger. So you've got, again, it's that choice, but within limited options. And I don't really want it over my face, so I'll move it over here. Because this is a lower third, it's not letting me put it up high. And I can have it over at this side, and then that will just play during the part.
There's always that balance, isn't there, between, like you said with your designer, I want to put it there, but it won't. I think what's good about these sort of tools, I use something similar for doing slides, for example, and sometimes it's frustrating you can't do stuff, but on the whole, it just won't let you do something really bad. So it stops you making really huge design, because a lot, then most of us aren't designers. It stops you doing, kind of protects you from yourself at getting too whizzy or doing something that's just awful, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And actually, our e-learning tool is a lot like this. So it kind of restricts you, but to make your learning actually doable, not terrible. Yeah. So it's kind of, I can sympathise.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, what I didn't mention is you can also trim your video in this tool itself. So this, if I click on the video, I've got the option then to trim it, and that gives me then a slider so I can cut off the awkward bit at the beginning where I'm like gurning or whatever it is that I'm doing. And I can check, is that the right bit?
The big question.
Yep, perfect, that seems about right to me. And then just trim it at the end of it as well, and click and check. and apply. And then I can just go back in. I think I've chopped off my lower third there by mistake, but, you know, you get the impression. Then I can also, as well as that lower third, you can then highlight sort of parts of the text. So, for example, this compelling figure here about the cost that most businesses are spending on training. I can then add something to appear on the screen. Now, I haven't really explored all these other ones, to be perfectly honest. I've stuck really with lower thirds and text call out, and that's largely because I positioned myself in such a way that it kind of makes more sense for those call outs to be there on my lovely blank wall. But there's these other options for you to play with as well. So say if I picked text call out, it's a lovely still of my face there, thank you Lumen5. And I can then just pull out any compelling figures, so I can put in here 1,500 per employee per year. And again, with this, I can change the font, I can change the colour, and I can choose where I want it to go. So, you know, if I wanted it to go directly over my face, I could, but I'm more likely to want it up there somewhere. And that just automatically then will appear on the video, but only during the highlighted period, effectively. And then, effectively, all I do is just read through the transcript, check the transcript, drag to add any call-outs or lower thirds that I think are going to be relevant without being overwhelming. I try not to put too much in.
Yeah.
And then we also, at the end, after this talking head bit, I've added an outro, which is just a little video that we have, basically. That's our, like, branded outro video, and I can easily just drag and drop that as well. Then, let's just say for one moment, pretend that this is finished. I can also add a little voiceover, which I just use to record the question at the beginning. And then I literally just do a voiceover for the very first tiny bit. Because obviously the voiceover is kind of included in this video. And then I can preview it, and that's probably not going to work very well.
Who is Nimble useful for?
Quite got the CPU capacity running the streaming service at the same time. But I just publish it. I can download it as a video file, just as an MP4. And then that's what I use. I just upload that to YouTube. So it takes a bit of learning, but actually it's really not. You know, there's a lot here that you could explore, but you can create quite a nice, simple video, topping and tailing that looks really professional without too much extra effort.
Oh, that's great, Hannah. I think what's interesting from somebody who's come from a video editing background is that the whole paradigm of the way that this is put together is totally different and much more aimed at people who've never edited video, don't care or want to edit video, and I've seen there's other tools as well out there now that they focus the editing around text and literally, you know, using the text transcript as a way of editing and hanging it off that, which is really interesting, rather than just the absolute time of the clips and so on. So it doesn't really have this timeline paradigm, which is much more traditional way of doing video editing. So I think for people who have not edited before, this is a really nice way of doing it. For those who have edited before, I find myself getting quite frustrated quite quickly. So like, oh, I want to do that, and I can't do that, and I want to crossfade in. I don't want to sort of have it jump to that and this sort of thing. You can't do some of those things, but you know, like you say, it's not. Yeah. It's good enough. And as one of the things we say a lot on, I say a lot on Cadence Video Academy is very much like, well, you know, it's good enough. Done beats perfect, and I think this is perfect for that sort of. You know, that sort of idea. But one of the things you haven't really used it. I don't know if you've used this feature in Lumen5, but what intrigued me was kind of you've used this more here for these voiceover videos. You know, where it's very video driven. What I was intrigued by is the idea you could just dump some text in there. And it will auto-generate kind of a story, and that sounded like where you'd come from. So do you have an example of that? Can we see how that works?
Yeah. So interestingly, that's where we started from, but I actually found that a bit frustrating, and I just end up kind of doing it manually. I'll show you what I mean.
Yeah, I can really believe that. It kind of looks like the sort of thing, oh, it's going to be great, and then you go, oh, but it's not quite what I wanted, and then, you know, I could really see that. But again, it kind of gives you a starting point at least, doesn't it? Especially when you're...
Yeah, it does give you a starting point. I mean,
really
what we did,
with, we've talked about ChatGPT. So, for example, I was trialing this out for some work I'm doing with a franchising expert. And what I did is I took their About Me section off their website, dumped it into ChatGPT and said, create a video script from this text. And it automatically created a kind of first-person version of what it said on their website. I edited that down slightly, took some stuff out, and then I could see that you could then dump it in here and have it auto-generate a kind of very basic video. That's kind of an intriguing idea.
Yeah, I mean, that's where we started. So just what you can see on the screen at the moment, we created this article called, I can't remember what it was, like 7 reasons why e-learning is great for franchises, and then we kind of split that down, and each paragraph we generated a video from.
Right.
And so we started off by doing what you suggested there, which the tool advertises itself as being perfect for doing, which is you paste the text into the story section, they call it. Over here. Story, which you can see here, and you just paste it in, and then you click convert to video, and it magically generates a beautiful video. But if you're a bit of a perfectionist, it gets quite annoying, and you find yourself tweaking this, tweaking that. I don't quite like that, or that image. Like sometimes it will choose stock imagery and stock videos for you, and sometimes it really misses the mark. But you know, it's a good.
Can you just whiz down and see what that looks like?
Yeah, so here you can see that it's kind of picked these bits here and created this little just mute this site one moment because I think it's just too much noise. So you can see there that it basically took that text and just created this like nice little moving animation out of these 2 paragraphs. And then it's chosen a different slide design. So these are all from the same template. So they're all kind of, you can see they're all in the same design family with those kind of shapes. But here it's picked a stock image of somebody doing some training. And then that's a stock video actually. And then that's got the text alongside it. Now I suspect I went in and edited this because it probably chose a weird video. But that's the beauty of it. You can go into media, search all of their library of stock photos and videos and what have you, and just drag it across. So, and then down here,
and I have to say, one of the expensive bits about doing video editing is getting high quality stock footage. It can be very expensive, and
exactly,
you know, getting exactly what you want, you end up paying for. But like having again good enough for what is in effect free or a very low cost, that. You know, that's worth something in and of itself, and the music as well.
Absolutely, the music's really nice. And like here you can see I've uploaded a video, like a product video of our product being used, just to kind of take that to the next level. But this stuff is all stock photography and videography from their site. Here we've peppered in some more graphic ones where you've got those sort of shapes moving in and out, and then you can add a little kind of call to action. And here we've added in a slide that's literally just got the BFA supplier logo on there, and then we've got our outro. So you can achieve some really nice things, and we generate these quite quickly. We use these on social media. And the way that we use them largely is to signpost people back to that original piece of content that they can then digest in more detail, or it's just another touch point, isn't it, for the prospect to get to know you and get to know your brand.
Yeah, and I can really see the value of these. I think obviously we're focusing more on video as in this kind of video, but I think in terms of that I've talked a lot about the know, like, trust journey. I think in terms of the know bit, this is good for the know bit. I think for the like and the trust, I think that's where face-to-face video comes in. And I think the downside of things like this, I think as we roll on, as 2023 rolls on, there's going to be a huge amount of this kind of stuff because of things like ChatGPT and generative AI tools. It's very easy for AI to kind of rifle through everything you've ever written and generate huge amounts of this sort of stuff automatically. And I think we're going to get quite... I think it's good for now. I think we're going to start getting a bit bored of it fairly soon because there's going to be a lot of it. But I think it's just a good thing to be aware of, and especially how we've used it here, which is like a nice, easy way to take your standard video and add a little bit of design around it without really needing much in the way of editing skills. I think that's the key message of this session. So.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for me, just having that talking head ability where I can just put the slide at the beginning, put the outro at the end, and then have me talking in the middle with a few little extra designy highlights, that's been brilliant. And I've really enjoyed exploring that functionality, and that we'll be using those videos really heavily. So I definitely recommend having a little poke about in there if anybody's interested. We do pay, but not much, and the free version is pretty, you get quite a lot of features actually in the free version.
I noticed I couldn't export from the free version, so you can kind of get but you do, as far as I can see, you do have to pay, unless I'm doing something wrong.
I thought maybe they've changed it then. When we signed up, you could export from the free version, but it had a Lumen5 outro that you couldn't remove.
It may be that
so
I'd included some features that you pay for, perhaps. Like I'd played the logo and maybe the stock footage, and so it was forcing me to pay. It might be that I picked like premium options or something. So, or maybe the video, doing the video option. Again, that could be a premium option. I'm not sure, but like you say, if you're doing videos at scale, I think it's like £25 a month. It's not a lot. For what it is, so
no,
certainly.
And it's, I mean, for us, we're using it in quite a few different ways, so it's definitely worth it. Definitely been worth it for us.
Yeah, and there are lots of other tools like this, and have some similarity to this. But as Hannah was using this one, I thought, well, let's get Hannah on here and talking about it. So I hope you found that useful. And if there's any tools you're aware of, feel free to come and demo them. All good. It's helpful for everybody else in the Academy to play with those. So thank you so much, Hannah. Really appreciate you sharing your experience and your knowledge from Nimble. It's great to see you producing loads of video for Nimble in the Academy.
Yeah, no, thank you. And it's nice to be able to share some knowledge I've found along the way as well, and hope that's useful, and hopefully see some other people sharing what they're doing as well. That would be great.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, thanks again, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.
Thank you. Bye.